Joel Osteen, famed for his grin, sermons, and hope, received tragic news. From managing the world's largest church to enduring personal grief, his journey has been surprising and heartbreaking. Why is everyone talking about him again? And what happened behind the scenes? The truth will shock you, so stay tuned. Joel Osteen is a world-renowned pastor. He leads Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas, and his cheerful, uplifting preaching and broadcast sermons have a global following. With millions of weekly viewers and best-selling books, Osteen represents hope and faith for many. His messages emphasize belief, personal progress, and overcoming adversity. He has avoided controversy for most of his career due to his calm manner, encouraging tone, and wide smile. In early 2024, Osteen's name made headlines for reasons other than his inspirational message. On February 11, 2024, Lakewood Church experienced a traumatic event. Lakewood Church was filled with family on Sunday afternoon when Genesee Moreno entered with her small boy and an learned .5 weapon. Officials have not confirmed the motive. After opening fire inside the church without warning, Moreno left attendees in pandemonium and fear. She shot her 7-year-old son during the attack, seriously injuring him. He is in critical condition after being transported to the hospital with head damage. The gunfire injured another church member. Before Moreno could do more harm, the off-duty church security personnel acted quickly. The terrible situation ended when they shot and killed the shooter. The incident shook Lakewood churches to the core. Many questions remain as investigators pursue the probe. The woman's intentions are unknown, and officials have not confirmed them. Still, one thing is certain. This period was a major challenge for Joel Osteen and his longtime church. He is used to public attention, but this time it was on a traumatic occurrence that questioned his values. The incident made Joel Osteen feel obligated to interact with his community during a difficult moment. Let's see how Jesus comforted and guided his people through the storm with faith and compassion. A week after February 11th, Lakewood Church held a healing-only service. It's not a typical Sunday gathering. This time, the goal was to soothe victims' relatives, help the shaken, and reinforce faith over fear. Joel Osteen addressed the crowd as a leader, helping his community through loss. His message was hopeful, reminding everyone that faith can help in hard times. The incident affected many outside the church. Injury to a boy is extremely heartbreaking. Still in serious condition, he faces long-term recovery obstacles. Nationwide sympathy and concern for his condition. His family has been the center of Houston and beyond assistance efforts because of their terrible trauma. The community around Lakewood Church felt the emotional impact. After witnessing an unexpected event in a peaceful setting, many members were rattled. The catastrophe affected the world. World-renowned Lakewood Church draws a broad international faith group. People from throughout the world sent love, sympathy, and solidarity. Religions and civilizations, faith leaders, religious groups, and Joel Osteen followers provide solace and support. This support reminded Lakewood residents that they were not alone in their suffering. Though sorrowful, there were moments of courage. The 2 off-duty officers who responded were praised as heroes. Their prompt response prevented a worsening situation, as many credit their bravery with saving lives and preventing harm. They have been recognized for their crisis response and selflessness. Joel Osteen understood he had to examine and tighten church security as well as comfort the community. With over 45,000 visitors every week, Lakewood Church could no longer rely on standard safety practices. The tragedy revealed major protection deficiencies, requiring immediate reforms. The incident highlighted questions beyond one person's behavior. The woman Genesee Moreno had schizophrenia. Despite her mental illness, she could lawfully buy guns. The national discourse about mental health, firearm access, and oversight measures to prevent similar situations has begun. Many wonder how a mentally sick person may evade precautions. It is a worrying example of legal and medical systems failing to communicate. Joel Osteen and Lakewood Church immediately prioritized preventing another incident. Church leaders reviewed all safety practices after the tragedy. Lakewood already hired off-duty officers for weekly security, but the event indicated that a high-visibility location needed more thorough protection. Osteen reassessed church campus risk with local authorities and professional security experts. The first step was adding professional security guards to services and special events. The new hires included law enforcement officers and emergency response and crowd safety experts. Behind-the-scenes preparation and obvious protection were their goals. We also reviewed entrance policies. Lakewood is famed for its openness, but the team added bag check and entry point monitoring. Upgraded surveillance systems cover larger areas with higher clarity and faster alerts. These changes were carefully made to maintain the warm environment guests anticipate while increasing protection. Lakewood Church also trained workers alongside mental health doctors to recognize symptoms of distress or strange behavior before a crisis. Greeters, ushers, and volunteers who contact with attendees weekly were also aware of this new layer. Osteen has advocated for better healthcare law enforcement communication about higher-risk patients. Osteen acknowledged his platform's power, even though the church cannot affect national legislation. He joined the push for wiser prevention by publicly endorsing enhanced system inspections and reporting mechanisms. Joel Osteen has a family and personal life in addition to church and public duties. That portion of his universe is under pressure lately. His private life has presented unexpected hurdles and devastating news. Let's examine his internal struggles. Joel Osteen is a husband, father, and family guy who resides in Houston, Texas. With his wife Victoria and their 2 children, Jonathan and Alexandra. Their home has always been a haven, reflecting his preachings of peace, faith, and family harmony. However, Osteen has faced emotional and physical struggles in recent months due to a series of very unpleasant incidents. September 2024 saw a tragic report when rumors arose that Osteen's extended family had died in a Houston house fire. Early web accounts identified a niece and cousin as victims. Social media spread the news, saddening his admirers. The Houston Chronicle and other significant local sources denied the story. While relatives of the Osteen family may have burned, Joel and Lakewood Church have not confirmed the tragedy. The occurrence remains shrouded in mystery. Despite the lack of reliable information, such stories' emotional impact adds to Osteen's already mounting burden this year. Dealing with grief or rumors can be difficult, especially in public. Joel Osteen's October 2024 medical emergency compounded the situation. Online media reported that he was sent to a Houston hospital after a sudden health issue, but no official diagnosis or explanation was given. His supporters became concerned and sent prayers and good wishes on social media.
Osteen
Returned to public duty, showing he had recovered, but the incident is still private. A common theme runs through these issues. Osteen has struggled behind the scenes. His public image is polished and calm, but he has faced anxiety, uncertainty, and potential loss like everyone else. Despite his message of resilience through hardship, these occurrences have tested his commitment personally. The last year tested his leadership and resilience. As someone who has preached about staying anchored amid life's storms, Joel Osteen is a living example. Despite not making headlines, great news sources, the problems lend humanity to one of America's most viewed spiritual icons. Joel Osteen was already dealing with unconfirmed stories and mental hardship when additional devastating news surfaced. This time, the rumors became deeper, blurring speculation and sadness. The widely misreported death of Joel Osteen was one of his most strange and emotionally draining personal and public problems. False stories about his health and survival have spread swiftly online in recent months, causing uncertainty, concern, and panic among his millions of fans. These death hoaxes shocked his faithful audience and raised major questions about misinformation's speed and damage. Joel Osteen was reported to have perished in a plane crash on December 1, 2024, on social media and obscure websites. The article said Osteen crashed while traveling to a missionary event abroad. It included the aircraft path, number of passengers, and a claimed law enforcement statement. The Globe lost a famous religion leader, and headlines traveled quickly. Within hours after the article's publication, it was revealed to be false. The Associated Press swiftly fact-checked the article and found it to be false. There were no flight records, official announcements, Lakewood Church, or Osteen's family confirmation. Joel Osteen was alive and attended his weekend service. Days following the rumor, September 2024 report that Osteen's daughter Victoria was hurt in a collision added to the rumors. Niche websites spread the tale, but no credible news organization confirmed it. The Osteen family did not comment, and no medical or public documents corroborated the report. Uncertainty about an incident leaves the story in the realm of supposition. Unfortunately, misleading narratives continued. Another set of rumors said Osteen perished in a major vehicle accident in June 2025. Despite the ambiguous wording and unreliable sources, the headlines sparked more internet discussion. Like the previous occurrence, this report was false. Osteen was hospitalized after a car accident, but his injuries were not fatal. After treatment, he resumed his routine. Still, the moment showed how quickly perplexity can turn into panic. When information is not correct, misinformation and its emotional impact on subjects and audiences unite these stories. Joel Osteen, a spiritual leader who brings serenity to tumult, finds false death stories unsettling and distracting. From his work ministering to millions and helping them overcome their troubles, Joel Osteen was engulfed in rumors and misinformation until recently. His next catastrophe wasn't a hoax. It was heartbreaking and unavoidable. Joel Osteen was involved in a sad accident in June 2025, one that had quietly haunted his family for nearly 2 decades. They cited a reopened murder investigation involving his 84-year-old great-aunt, Johnny Daniel, whose 2006 death had haunted the family. With investigators returning, the case is under examination again, causing emotional upheaval and uncomfortable questions. Johnny Daniel, Joel Osteen's relative and longtime Houston resident, was found dead in 2006 under strange circumstances. Her age, 84, made the incident extra upsetting. Police soon identified a suspect who was apprehended shortly after the crime. However, the legal journey proved convoluted and problematic. The suspect was never tried in court despite being arrested. The reason? Weak DNA evidence and weak law enforcement and prosecutorial treatment. Case cooled with time. Culprit was imprisoned for over 18 years without trial. Legal experts and advocacy groups questioned the fairness of this protracted confinement, especially considering the lack of forensic evidence linking the guy to the crime. Legal watchdogs and civil rights groups criticized this unresolved detention. Even as Joel Osteen built his global ministry, the Daniel and Osteen families struggled with the unsolved matter. The quiet anguish of a family member's violent and unsolved death lingered even though he rarely spoke about it. In early June 2025, the case changed drastically. Investigators revived the file in hopes of finding answers using fresh forensic equipment and attention. The Independent adds that fresh legal evaluations of incorrectly managed evidence and increased calls to reevaluate cold cases in Texas contributed to the case's revisitation. The current probe centers on the suspect, who was released from prison in late 2024 after years of legal fights. Authorities are adopting a broader strategy this time. They're re-examining the original case file, evaluating forensic material with new procedures, and talking to prior witnesses. Johnny Daniel deserves justice, and prior legal mistakes must be addressed. Local and national media have covered the topic due to the Osteen family's link and the legal system's ramifications. Many consider holding someone for nearly 2 decades without trial a due process violation. Who killed Johnny remains a mystery for the Daniel family. As the inquiry continues, Joel Osteen has not commented. He obviously takes this personally, and it touches a sad period in his family's history. However, the case raises bigger questions about delayed justice and how unresolved crimes can harm families decades later. Joel Osteen has weathered the onslaught, the fake death rumors, family loss stories, and increased scrutiny around his leadership after the Lakewood Church disaster might have upset anyone. Osteen, who preaches calm in chaos, has quietly led. Even though he was doubtful, he continued preaching, attended community events, and spread spiritual optimism. Looking ahead, Osteen appears to be building his foundation. Lakewood, his church, is still significant worldwide. He still reaches millions on TV and online. In the future, his writing, speaking, and digital media activities may go beyond the pulpit. More importantly, Joel Osteen appears set to grow as a preacher and leader who has navigated the fire and emerged stronger. After public disinformation and individual grief, he may approach his mission with more sensitivity and understanding. That progress may show in his sermons, books, and personal interactions with his audience, restoring community healing, Lakewood Church, security, and family welfare are expected to remain priority goals. Osteen would likely calmly and respectfully handle the revived inquiry into his Grattan's murder while keeping his family close and his public focus clear. What's next for Osteen? More of his best, leading with faith, facing storms with grace, and showing that purpose grows through real-life hardships. What do you think of Joel Osteen's struggles? Comment your thoughts.